Hey everyone, how's it going? My name is Rhett McNally, and today on episode 6 of the Basics of Business, I'm going to be covering how to do a follow-up and why it's important, as well as setting up meetings. So, starting off here, if I reach back here real quick, I have an accordion folder. And if I open this, I can show you here. It has the months of the year. And what I can do is I can take somebody's note card and go ahead and move it over to 90 days later, or like 3 months. And then I can just sit it over, and then every couple days or every couple weeks I open the folder and check and make sure that it's there's nobody to call. And then if there's somebody to call, I call them and check on them and see how they're doing. And kind of just ask them how they're doing, and maybe bring up a ROGA if it's relevant. So that's super important, and why it's important is because people's lives can completely change in 90 days. Like, they can just, they can learn that they have carpal tunnel in their left hand, and now all of a sudden, bam, they're super interested because they want an all-natural product that they think is going to really help them. And so they turn to a ROGA. And whenever you reintroduce it, they might not have made that connection in their head, and then they think, and something goes off, and they're like, you know what, that is something I want, and stuff like that. So it's just really important to reintroduce it. And when they decide that that's something they want, you're going to want to set up a meeting as soon as possible. You're going to want to do it within the same week, hopefully. Obviously, if it's on Saturday, the next week's about to roll over. Maybe you can't set up in that week, but you can set up within the week that's about to happen. And so just kind of make sure you set up real soon so you can get them the information as soon as possible. So when you're actually doing them, the meetings, you're going to want to kind of cover what they're curious about. So if they're curious about both, cover them both. If they're curious more about the products, you're going to want to mostly go over the products and just kind of say, hey, there is a business side to this. I'll tell you a little bit about it. Or if they're really interested in the business side, vice versa going on here, you're going to want to talk mainly about the business side, and then of course products are involved in the business side, so you're gonna have to talk about products too. So that's all super great. Some things that I might recommend if you are going to do any of this, which you definitely should, make sure that you are consistently following up with people. And if it's somebody who you had like a meeting with just a little bit ago, and they're like, hey, I need time to collect some money, or they're talking about like, oh, I don't know, let me talk to my relative about this, I think they're going to be interested. Make sure you follow up like a day or two later and just kind of like, hey, I know you said, whatever, how's that going for you? And then you can kind of talk about, like all the options that they have. And that's super good for just really, showing them that there is a family and a bond here and a ROGA, and also that you're going to be there for them. And that's super important because that support element really plays in a lot of this stuff. And also, as tips go, make sure that you set up a meeting. Like, it's super important that you set up a meeting ASAP because they're interested, they're excited. Set up the meeting, you know what I'm saying? You're just going to want to set it up as soon as possible. With that, guys, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day to sit down and watch this video, stand up and watch this video. I don't know what you're doing, but watching this video. I'd like to thank you for doing that, and make sure you comment down below because I will be doing a Q&A. And with that, I think that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.